See, if you know what's true about creating success is your identity is going to stop you the most. You aren't a certain way. How you craft a unique mechanism. What are you going to do to make your thing unique? And I know that every year that keeps growing, and as long as I don't offend them and do what I say, and as long as I keep asking them to buy stuff, every year they're going to keep buying more stuff and buying more stuff and buying more stuff. On this session, I will continue going through the exponential thinking models about how an entrepreneur can create a big business fast. This is what changed everything from me learning these from a billionaire. I'll go through 10, 11, and 12 today so you can understand them. Now, if you haven't checked out the other thinking models, they're going to blow you away. Now, these ones are very special to me. The first one changed everything. Really, it changed so much. To understand this is that your mind is plastic. Neuroplasticity, and so the model is a neuroplasticity of your mind. You are not a fixed persona. You're not fixed. See, many of us think we're fixed. We are the way we are. We have traumas and pains and these things. We live based on our past. Now, neuroplasticity is fascinating. There's an amazing thing called the reconsolidation moment. This is the moment in the Hebb's principle that's discovered where neurons can unconnect and reconnect in a new way. See, if you know what's true about creating success is your identity is going to stop you the most. Now, what's interesting about identity and persona, it's not fixed. It's not even close to being fixed. Neuroplasticity blows me away. In 2019, I released the Recode. I brought people up on stage and I helped them to recode their biggest fears of public speaking in minutes. We've now been taking people through courses, showing them how to recode and rewire their mind. And the way it works is this, is that your brain has a mechanism to heal physical pain, right? If you get a cut, it's going to heal. However, mental and emotional pain, the brain seems to have missed how to do that. By using an educational process and hypnotic metaphors, we can teach the brain a process of letting go and reconnecting. See, the only reason that we hold on to pain or trauma or beliefs or ways of being is it creates safety. See, the unconscious mind is always looking for safety, whereas your superconscious or higher mind is always looking just to have experience, and your self-conscious wants to create a good life. And so your unconscious is this thing that just keeps on wanting to create the same experience over and over again, yet it doesn't actually come into being with any pre-programmed fears. They are programmed into us, and by programmed, they're learnt. And so because we go through this learning process, we can unlearn how we are. And this is so much fun to show people how to do this. The key is you can just make a little move at a time. See, the brain and the system doesn't want to completely change everything, but using Recode and neuroplasticity, and I got introduced to this work in 2016, where I got shown I'm actually super conscious and how I can use a process to let go of everything that was stopping me. Before I did this, I was somebody that was just stuck in one model, one way of being, and I was trying to fix myself. But instead of trying to fix myself, what I needed to realize is I just need to let go of that way of being and recreate something new, which is actually sounds very similar, but very, very different. So the thinking model is this, is you aren't a certain way. You have a neuroplasticity in your mind, and you can shift and you can change whenever you like, and science can prove it. The next thinking model is to be a market of one. Now, most people out there think, well, how could I possibly be a market of one? Right? There's all these other competitors in my industry. I want to let you know, if you want to be successful, you must become a market of one. You must find a way to be the only option for people in your audience, for people that you want to serve. There must not be any other option. See, competition is a drive to the bottom in prices. Competition is a race to the bottom. You can go online right now and you can get a commodity, and a commodity is a certain price, and everyone knows the price, say, of an iPhone or of a carton of milk or whatever. Everyone knows the price, and it's a commodity, right? It might change by a few cents here and there, but everyone knows the price, and it's the only way to compete is to compete on price, right? Because everyone can get the same iPhone, so people just sell it at different prices, or everyone can get the same carton of milk or loaf of bread. It's basically the same, so you compete mainly on price. You're never going to be a market of one. And being in the commodity market is very, very, very difficult, right? So for me, a barbershop is a commodity. I'm not loyal to a barbershop at all. I'll go to any barbershop. It doesn't matter. If my hair is not a great haircut, I know it's going to grow anyway. I'll go to a different one. It's a complete commodity. Same with coffee, right? Coffee's a commodity. I don't really care where I go, right? I want a good cup of coffee. Most people can do it. If they can't, it was only $3, $4. I'll throw it out. I'll get another one, right? It's a complete commodity. And so you do not want to be in markets that are commodity driven. What you must do is learn to take what a commodity is and become a market of one. Now, Dave Asprey of Bulletproof Coffee, fantastic way of taking a commodity And he also, I think he's got Danger Coffee now or something like that, Dangerous Coffee. And what he did is he created nootropics and told people to put butter in their coffee and took it as a commodity. He became a marketer one. He was the only one doing it. And it's a fascinating example, right? The only one doing it. He makes that shift. And so you can understand that the Bulletproof Coffee brand, there's also Life Boost Coffee and a bunch of other coffees that have got amazing brands, right? And that they're making tens of millions of dollars and can be sold for a huge multiple on their EBITDA. Then you have the local coffee shop that just grounds beans like everyone else, and it's exactly the same. So you got to become a market of one. Now, the way to become a market of one is to understand market sophistication. See, to become a market of one, your story, firstly, is going to make you unique, your story and your perspective. Number two is how you craft a unique mechanism. What are you going to do to make your thing unique so that you stand out? Sure, your story is really good, right? A particular mechanism is really great. So, for example, when I took the superconscious work into the world, the way that we made it unique was to help people understand that this is completely different to personal development. In fact, we helped people understand that personal development was actually hurting you. And so we created a market of one. We're the only place that teaches superconscious development. There is no one else. We are the only one. And so you create yourself this market of one. See, all big businesses, they actually figure out how to create themselves a monopoly. And if you want to create a lot of money, you need to figure out how you can become a monopoly in a certain area, be a business of one, right? You can buy everyone else in the market. You can create something unique. You can have a unique story, a unique experience, but you must have a unique point of view so that no one else can compete with you. That's if you want to create a big business. And this thinking model made me really understand. So I got taught this and I sat there and thought, okay, how do I make sure I'm a market of one? Like, I don't want to be driven down to a commodity. I want to be something that makes me unique, and I'm perceived as the only option if you want to be that one. You got to work with this guy. He's the one that knows. And so I'm always thinking about that, whether I'm creating my AI training school or the Superconscious Entrepreneur Program, Magnetic Mind, the digital marketing school, whatever it is that I'm creating, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I've got the hedgehog theory and other things we've talked about and creative structure, but then I'm going, okay, how do I make sure I'm a market of one? How do I make sure that I am a big fish in a small pond? Because one of the things you can do is serve a really, really, really particular person, right? And so one way to do it is you can do it with pricing. You can go super premium, right? Super premium. Like, that's going to shorten your money. You're the only one, the most expensive of something. That's a really good strategic advantage. So I wanted just to put that thinking model into your mind, is that if you want to create a big business, you don't want to be down at the commodity level. You need to rise up and become a market of one. Cirque du Soleil did this, right? There were many circuses, but then they created a particular experience that became a market of one. This is the key. Commodity driven is very, very difficult place. You're going to be just competing, and it's going to be a race to the bottom. So the 12th thinking model here is a really interesting idea. And this is this idea that you can actually buy customers. This thinking model, you can buy customers. So I want you to think about that. What would it be like if you could just buy customers and you could go, okay, if I give someone $100, I get a customer for $200. To me, when I realized that I can purchase customers, it changed everything. So I want you to just think, what would it be like if you knew every $1,000 that you could go spend $1,000, you could get a customer? To me, that's so exciting. And so the way that you must understand and think about this is you can buy customers with your time or with your money. But your money's far more infinite, especially if you can do it profitably, buy customers profitably, which is the goal, than your time. And so many people don't know this, is that I didn't spend any time building like an organic marketing strategy with time. I wanted to figure out one thing, which was how can I spend my money to buy customers? And I got obsessed with this. And my program at that time was a $5,000 offer. If I said, if I could buy a customer for under $3,000, then I know that I'll have an infinite scaling front end to my business. I never thought about that. Before that, I didn't think that I was ever buying customers with my time or my money. I was just doing marketing and putting things on social media. I was just doing stuff, right? And it turned out to be that as soon as I shifted my mind, this became the most important number in my business. I built two $10 million companies, multiple actually, one was well over 20 million, right, per year. And we did that with just one number, and that was return on ad spend. I actually even own the number plate, return on ad spend, or ROAS for short. So I knew that if I could get a return on my advertising dollar, if I could just buy a customer, if I could get in my head, okay, $1,000 gets me a customer. They spend $1,500 the first time, maybe. Then they're going to buy more stuff later. If I could buy a customer It's fantastic. And I've got this idea that if you have a customer, a person is going to continually buy from you as long as you keep asking them to buy stuff until you don't offend or piss them off, right? And so when you buy a customer, you might think, well, I only made $500 this year from them. But remember, next year they need to buy some more stuff. And then the year after they need to buy more stuff, right? Right now in my business, we have nearly 10,000 active customers. And I know that every year that keeps growing, and as long as I don't offend them and do what I say, and as long as I keep asking them to buy stuff, every year they're going to keep buying more stuff and buying more stuff and buying more stuff, right? And so just really think about that, is that using good advertising and using these strategies, you can buy customers, okay? Very, very fun. And obviously, we can show you how to do that really more. So I hope that these were exciting, okay, to understand the neuroplasticity of your mind, be a market of one, and that you can actually buy customers. So I hope you're enjoying this. And on the next one, I'm going to cover some more amazing thinking models. These thinking models, when you put them all out, they will change the way you think about your business and your life. So I hope you're enjoying them. Bye for now.